And we're live. What's up, everyone? I'm Dino here, and I am with Spec, and we are about to talk some World of Warcraft stuff.
For the horde, baby.
Let's do this shit. So, Spec, how you been, man?
Been doing well. How about you?
Not too bad. It's been a pretty good week for raiding. We've been gone for a while. We've been gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah, you and your damn internet.
Let's not talk about it. It's so embarrassing. But yeah, we're back, and let's have some fun. So, what have you been up to in this 3 weeks that we've been absent?
A lot of Overwatch.
Dude, I actively have to like keep myself from logging into Overwatch now.
Yeah,
I am
like
falling
crack.
behind on World of Warcraft so much. Like, I have no class order hall resources. I have none.
Really?
I think I have like 5.
Wow. Do the weekly boss, the world boss this week's
You know
1,000.
what happens? You know what happens when I log in to do anything? I log in and I say I am gonna do some world quest and get some artifact power and some class order resources. And I fly to the spot where the the world quest is. But on my way during the flight, I was like, man, I could be playing Overwatch right now. So I end up logging out mid-flight, logging into Overwatch, and spending the rest of my night on there.
It's like crack.
Dude,
Can't get
I'm
away from it.
telling you.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from that, we've been doing the old raid. That's been
Yeah.
fun. We've gotten
Jumping in there.
we've gotten some pretty good kills.
Yep. I think this week we one-shotted everything up to Cenarius.
Yeah, that was pretty nice because did we get, because Savius was a new kill for us, right? And
No, we
on
didn't.
heroic.
We didn't kill Xavius this week.
Or I keep saying Savius. Cenarius, right? That was a
Yeah.
new kill for us.
Yep. And we one-shotted it. It was kind of nice.
So we are now 6 out of 7 on heroic on Emerald Nightmare, and we are 2 out of 3 on Trial of Valor on normal. And we haven't really done much with Helia, right? Like we haven't.
I think we put like 2 or 3 attempts into her, and then we just kill the first 2 bosses and get straight to Emerald Nightmare. We don't even bother with her yet. She's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, the 3 attempts that we did, I mean, they were pretty much just for like looking at mechanics, like a preliminary view and see what's up. But I didn't feel like they were very serious attempts.
Yeah, especially for us since we're both tanks. I think we kind of got a biased view on it, seeing that's just like a crappy fight for tanks.
Yeah, it is. It is. I feel like last raid night, which was last Tuesday.
Last night.
Yeah, last night. I feel like if it hadn't been for the maintenance stuff that Blizzard was doing, we would have probably gotten a few attempts on Helia. Or
Yeah,
maybe
that
not.
sucked.
Or maybe Cenarius.
Xavius, you mean?
Jesus. I keep mixing those 2 up.
Yeah, I think we would have downed Xavius, actually.
You think so? I keep hearing
Yeah.
like have we tried it on heroic at all?
Yeah. Well.
Not us though, like not the guild.
Like last night, I guess, was our first attempt as a full guild group.
Did we? But we didn't try the last boss. I'm not gonna say his name anymore.
we put 1 attempt into him, I think.
Huh.
Oh no, we didn't actually. We didn't. I take that back. We didn't, because Jess called it right after Xavier.
Oh, that's right.
Jesus, is it Cenarius?
So we didn't, but I think that we would have spent some time on it and maybe down it. I keep hearing that he is a fairly simple fight. I mean,
Yeah.
as far as the difference between normal and heroic is just a lot more damage and that kind of
It's
stuff.
just no more mechanics. So what was that maintenance about even? It was an hour. It took me an hour to log in.
I don't know, man. I was so annoyed, but like I try to give Blizzard the benefit of the doubt because I mean, obviously they don't want their players do not be playing. You know, like they want people in there. But like I feel it's one of those because we had maintenance earlier in the day, like the regular maintenance
Yeah.
and the scheduled maintenance, and I feel like it's one of those where the scheduled maintenance screw something up, and then now they're like rushing to fix it in the middle of like raid night because everyone's
Yeah.
raiding on Tuesday. It's like Tuesday hits, everything resets, everyone's running in because they want to get their stuff done. It's like the worst night for that to happen.
Yeah, that's like the busiest times too, because it's like 8 hour time, 8 to 9 hour time ish.
Yeah, 8 Eastern.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like we get in there, and some of us are in there, and some of us can't log in, and we spent about an hour and a half just there talking and wasting time.
That's crazy. I got on late,
Transmogging.
so I
But you came in a few minutes late and you still
yeah,
couldn't log
I
in
s-
for
I
like an
still
hour and a
couldn't
half.
log in for like an hour. That was about an hour. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, man, I swear. And speaking of gripes, I have a gripe
What's that?
against Blizzard because I'm a little upset about something. So, you've seen the new Pathfinder rewards, right? Like the class mounts.
Yeah,
So, for those who don't know, like right now we have a Pathfinder Part 1 achievement in the game, and with 7.1.5, the second part of that's going to release, and it's a series of different achievements that you have to get in order to unlock flying in the game. So, Part 1, we have it available now, and then when the new patch comes out, Part 2, we're going to be able to start working on that. With the achievement, different classes are getting different mounts. And I do not like the druid mount.
yeah. I feel the same way with the paladin. It's another stupid horse. Like, give me some eagle of light or something, not some stupid friggin' horse. Got
Some
enough of
eagle
those.
of light.
Yeah, that'd be sick, right?
That sounds so emo.
What? An eagle of light, like an eagle made of light is flying in with a paladin shooting shields everywhere. Oh my god, that'd be awesome. Blizzard, hire me as your concept artist.
Oh my god. So here's what my gripe is about this. Like you're supposed to be I don't know, like I don't know much about the lore overall period. You know, only like I've read a couple of books and read a couple of things online and that kind of stuff. But as far as lore, I don't know much. But I can see that the owls are very closely related to druids
Yeah.
for whatever reason. I mean, the Moonkin looks like an owl. Anyways, they gave they gave us a glyph for flight form that turns you into this cute cuddly owl. But I'm a fucking bear tank. I don't want to be a cute cuddly owl when I'm flying. So, I mean, that's cool. I don't have to have the glyph on, which gives me this badass like hawk looking thing. Um, but the mount is like a giant version of the cute cuddly owl, and it's got some kind of crown on his head. It's like, and it you turn into it. You're not even riding it. You turn into it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's so annoying. I really hope that it's not gonna be. I mean, I'm sure it's not. Like, I don't see them doing that, but I really hope it's not. Like you can turn it off somehow.
Yeah.
Not with the other owl glyph. Because if they get rid of the hawk, I'm gonna be really mad.
Well, it'll probably be an actual mount, like that you go through your mount tab to use. That'd be my
Right.
guess.
Right.
Like the sandstone drake, that like, or
Ooh,
was it
right.
sandstone? The
Yeah,
yeah, right,
the
where it actually
the
turns you into the
it
drake,
turns into the Sandstone Drake is the vial of the something.
Vial of the Sands. Yep.
Yes, vial of the sands. But so that segues me nicely into my next question.
Another complaint.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for everyone listening. This is very druid centric. Okay, there's two gripes. One, the travel form button. Why mesh all the travel forms into one button, like flight form, swimming, aquatic form? and in the travel form are all into one button, and it changes depending on what zone you're in and what you can do in the zone. So if you can fly, you hit the button, turns you into the hawk. If you are in the underwater, it'll turn you into the aquatic form. If you're in a place that you can't fly and you're outside, it'll turn you into uh, um, a stag. So so the stag is a fairly new thing, and I don't really like it all that much. So I kind of like it because people can ride on it, you know. But there's a glyph that you can turn travel form into a cheetah, which is the original form that the druid had before.
Yeah.
So okay, so that's cool, you know. Like I like to be the cheetah, but if I
Then you can,
wanna, if I
you have
want,
anybody right on you.
yeah, well, not that. If I want to change, okay, so there's another glyph for aquatic form that turns your aquatic form into an orca instead of whatever that god awful ugly thing
Yeah.
that druids turn
The
into
seal or
the
whatever it is.
sea lion.
Yeah.
Um, so it turns you into an orca, and the orca looks pretty cool, but they're exclusive to each other.
Oh.
Why the fuck? Why can't I be a cheetah and an orca whenever I'm in travel form, in aquatic form? It's the dumbest thing ever. And I feel like it's one of those things where Blizzard, like I can literally see someone say, "Oh, you know, that's too much fun. Let's just put something in there just to piss somebody off." I mean, come on.
Clearly it works. It pissed you off.
Jesus.
Uh,
So annoying.
well, I'm loving my paladin. No complaints. I do almost as much damage as some of our DPSs, and I don't die, so can't complain.
So that's been fun, right? Tanking.
I love it. I've always tanked, probably always will tank.
Yeah, so I'm back to tanking from, I think the last time I tanked was early MOP, late Kata, where I was like actually tanking.
Yeah,
And
you well, you had your warrior for SOO, I think, a little bit, didn't you?
very little though. Like I wasn't actually, because by the time we hit Siege, you and Zach were tanking together already.
Yeah.
So I didn't do much tanking then. But tanking, it's way different than it was back in those days. So one of the things, I'm a core raid leader, I guess. And I was talking to the other raid leader, and she was like, "Well, the only thing about you going tanking is that now it's gonna be harder for you to pay attention to what's going on in the raid, as far as everyone else, like be aware of what everyone's doing, and just be aware." And I was like, "Oh no, no, I'm used to that. Like
Yeah.
I tanked like all through Cataclysm, and I was awesome, and I was rate leading. I've done that before. In fact, I find it easier to rate lead when I'm tanking. It's totally cool. Not even close.
Yeah, that's I've noticed that you have to pay way more attention to yourself than
Not even close. Like back in Cataclysm, is like spend your rage on. No, it was like a fairly circular rotation. I think it was like lacerate stacks and then spend them with something else. I can't remember what, but it was like 3 buttons for tanking and then taunt every once in a while. So I had a lot of time to look at, what was going on in the raid. Because mostly for tanks back then, it was just stats. You just had to have the right stats, and that was all your damage mitigation.
yeah.
Everything else was just keeping aggro on
Well, I went from playing a blood DK, which is just death strike. Like my whole bar was death strike. So I just needed to slap my face around on the keyboard and I was good. But now I go into a prop paladin, it's like I have like 13, 14 different buttons I need to maintain and like watch all these different cooldowns. It's like, all right, sweet, it's more fun, but it's a lot more to pay attention to.
you. Yeah, it is. The active mitigation thing, I think it's really cool though. Like it added a depth to that class that was not there before. But I feel like now we're more um, we're more like everyone else. Like before, tanks used to know everything. You know, like you go in a dungeon and they because we had the time to actually see what was happening, and like just it didn't take long to learn the mechanics of a dungeon or a fight and that kind of stuff because we weren't staring at our bars and going through our rotations. But now, man, it's rough. It's rough.
Yeah, a lot of that also I think is like if you're doing a lot of dungeons, it's if you're the tank, you kind of have to know what's going on because if you don't, everybody's just gonna die.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true.
All right, I just thought of two complaints since we're complaining right now. So the fucking tab targeting, that's
Oh
god
yeah.
awful. Like that's so annoying. Like I don't even want to think about it. Like why are you
Yeah.
gonna tab me to something that's across the room that I'm not even in combat with when I have 12 other things right in front of me that I could
Right.
tab to?
So, do
Like,
you remember
ugh.
what the behavior of tap targeting was before the patch
It was like
or before Legion essentially because it
it,
was like right
it was
after.
like anything closer to you, it would prioritize. Like the closer it was to you, the more priority it had, and then it would like go through a list of the things closest to you, so it wouldn't like go back to like mob 1 and 2 as opposed to 3 and 4.
Right.
Like you had 4 mobs, like it would cycle through those 4 before it would go to anything further away, or it wouldn't go to
Yeah, it
anything
wouldn't
like
go
that.
like it would have a range, right? It would have
Yeah,
like a range limiter or whatever. Like now, well, back then I felt like it also whatever you were facing had a lot to do with it too. Like
yeah,
if there was something behind me and I turn around and tab, it would go to the thing that's standing behind me, even though it's standing right next to me, along amongst other things. So, but now I feel like it has a set number of like a priority number, I guess. And then when something new comes in, it takes like last priority. So
yeah,
you stop tabbing, and I don't know, like I don't know entirely how it works, but you start tabbing, and it starts going through the entire room
yeah,
of things before it gets to the thing that's clawing on your healer. So annoying.
yeah.
So there's a few fixes that we tried, right? Like there's a couple of things that help a little bit.
Yeah, there's a console command. I can't remember exactly what it was. That's the only thing I've done. And there's an add-on I think you can get.
So the console command, the problem with it is that it resets every time you log in. So if you don't remember to type it in every time, um, then it'll reset. But it also doesn't do what it did before. It just a slight improvement of the crap that it is right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think crap's the right word. I hate it.
But why? Why must they do things like that?
Just that going back to hey, this is working out pretty well. Let's introduce something to piss somebody off.
So there's an add-on as well. That I think it uses the same console command, but the add-on makes sure that that it stays on at all times. I can't remember what the add-on is. I should probably know that.
Yeah, that's oh,
Tab targeting, maybe?
it just makes my head hurt thinking about how they even like made it work. Like, why are you gonna have something like that system?
So,
And
and
then
I think, go ahead.
uh, my other complaint was the mob behavior when you're like when they run at you or when you're like changing positions. You've heard me talk about this multiple times. I think they changed this like towards the end of what was it, Pandaria, where like because I don't backpedal, my backpedal isn't bound.
That's
So
so crazy to me.
when I'm running at something, I run at it, or if I'm like say I'm running away from something, I'll look at it, hit it with something, start running backwards and jump and like keep turning at it so I don't get hit from behind.
Right, right. So
Just
strafing
because
essentially.
kinda yeah, it's just a lot faster. You can move things a lot faster. Like, but back in the day, stuff wouldn't run behind you when you're doing that like it does now. Now if I do that, it'll try to run right on top of you or behind you. So like I'll keep moving stuff, and if I don't stand still and like use my arrow key to backpedal, it'll just keep moving around all over the place. It's so annoying.
You know what I think it is? I think the game registers when you pull where your location was. And if you're moving forward, the mob will go to where you were standing at the location of the pool, or at the time where you were standing at the time of the pool. And so if you're moving forward, it ends up behind you. I think that's what happens with charge a lot.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense because both the classes I've played, DK and then now Paladin, I'm always running at it while I'm pulling.
Yeah.
So that makes sense too.
Yeah, and I know that was slightly improved for charge as well, because I don't think it happens as drastic as it used to. But that was definitely what was happening then. It was that whenever you charge something, and maybe not so much at the time that you triggered the charge, but like the boss wouldn't register the pull until like halfway through the charge. So by the time you're done, the boss is standing behind you. It's really
Yeah.
annoying. So that was fixed for charge, but I can see how it would be really annoying for when you're running forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like, especially for like trash pools and stuff like that. I like walking backwards because it helps me round everything up, like get everything like in a nice, neat group.
Not me. I like just pulling it and then hoping it finds its place. Because it's like I've got so much AoE damage that I don't need to like worry about dropping threat to anything or just not getting aggro on something because paladins, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like my AoE threat is starting to be improved a little bit too, because Guardian threat was not very good when we first started. And even before I started tanking, we had another bear that was
Yeah.
tanking. He was having threat issues as well. But
It's still not the greatest because last night on Xavius or not Cenarius rather Cenarius, I let you pull the boss and like 5 seconds after you started, I threw an Avenger shield at it and caught rip threat right off you.
yeah, so I think
But
I think that was my fault though, because I wasn't expecting you to start attacking the boss. I spent a few global cooldowns on non-threat generating abilities.
yeah,
Yeah. So like
Avenger shield does do it puts out a good amount of threat too. So
right. Yeah, so I wasn't really attacking the boss. I was between popping cooldowns and frenzied regeneration and that kind of stuff.
ah,
Yeah. Yeah, but I do think that it could be better. It could be way better. And for the damage that I'm doing, I think the threat should be a lot higher, because the damage isn't bad at all, and especially when as a tank. I think all tanks right now have some crazy AoE. When you can just sit there and spam swipe.
yeah,
I think that should give you a lot more threat than it does.
yeah.
Um, I wanted to talk about. Have you seen the artifact catch-up mechanic for 7.1.5?
No, I haven't.
So it's called Compendium, and for what I can see, you buy it. It's like the research artifact notes from your garrison right now, but you buy it with garrison or.
I was gonna correct you, but it was funny.
You buy it with class. Why did they name it that long of a name? Class Order Hall Resources. So you buy it with the same one that you buy with Class Order Hall Resources. The higher your research is, the higher of a compendium that you can buy, and it's almost the same thing except that it's account bound.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you buy it like if your artifact knowledge is at 10, then you can go buy a compendium volume 1 and 2, and you can then send that to an alt, and then they can start earning artifact power about the same rate that you can.
So it's just an increased rate in artifact knowledge,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
artifact power gain. It's not like straight artifact power.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. That's pretty
Exactly.
cool. I need to level my Death Knight then.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you feel like this expansion is alt friendly at all?
No, not at all.
Yeah, me neither.
Like, well, it is if you're like, let's say you have your one dedicated tune for your raiding tune, and then you're just gonna have that casual tune. For me, I want to have multiple tunes that I can raid with, but if I raid with multiple tunes, then they're not all gonna be on high level. Where if I just main my one tune, it's gonna be better than all those tunes that I would be playing otherwise.
Yeah, but I don't feel like even having a casual tune, I can barely keep up with the tune that I have now. So like having my raid tune and then having just another tune that I can neglect my raid tune with doesn't really work all that way. Everyone hated on garrisons, myself included, about how it was all fire and forget. You know, you didn't really have to do anything, you just log in and do. But one thing that garrisons had going on was the garrison resources were actually self-cycling. It wasn't like now you have to go do world quest in order to move anything forward, whether it's your weapon, and we talked about this a little bit last episode. But I feel like the garrison or the class order hall resources shouldn't be as scarce as they are now.
Well, I think that or their reasoning for that was just to get people out of the class order halls and go do stuff in the world. Because if they did that, then they'd be back in the whole stink of like people complaining, oh, it doesn't feel like an MMO anymore. It feels like I'm just sitting in my garrison doing nothing, waiting for my garrison missions to complete and farm some herbs and send my ships out, and that's it. That's all you did until you raided. Whereas now you got people going out doing world quests together, meeting new people doing world quests, doing mythics, all that good stuff. Like we talked a little bit about that last week, and that's my 2 cents on it. I think it's just to keep people from just sitting in the class order hall and not doing anything else.
So I think that's true, but I don't necessarily think that the class order hall resources should be bundled up with the go out in the world and explore, because we already have artifact power that does that. We have plenty of gear, like some of the gear world quest, and we have I mean, we have a number of other things like professions and mats and that kind of stuff. So I really don't think that and especially because you can only have 5 or 6 followers, 6 followers I think active, right?
Yeah,
Or champions they call them now. So like because of how it works and how you spend and how much you spend on the missions, I think there should be a little bit more lenient in how much actual class order hall resources you get, because if you like bundling up the class order hall resources with the artifact power, like I'm always debating like what should I work in the little time that I have, which one should I go do first, and which one do I want to neglect, and it's not a good feeling. It doesn't feel
yeah.
fun.
I think if you're having like really to make that decision, I would go with the artifact power. Or what do you usually get out of the caches from the end? Because usually I don't even do the four. I just kind of bounce all over the place
The caches from
from the
from
world quest.
from whenever you turn them in for the.
Yeah,
So a little bit of artifact power. I don't think
you don't even get any. Hmm.
class order hall resources.
Yeah, the ones that I did, I thought that it gave like a lot of one or the other, not just a little bit of something.
Right.
So like
But
if you really had to make a
I still
choice.
don't feel like it's enough
Yeah.
because I'm always short.
Hmm.
I mean, between the research and the recruiting, I don't know what it is for your class, but druids have some treants that they can recruit to help out with the missions, and some other little things, other little followers that you can have in order to help with your missions. But all that costs class order whole resources, and every time they finish a mission, one of them dies.
Yeah.
So, but like the class order hall is a class order hall resources sync, and I don't know. It just feels like it's way too much or way too fast.
Yeah. I mean, if it were up to me, it'd just be like, all right, I log in, I do some dungeons, go out do some world PvP, do some battlegrounds, and then I raid. That's all I would do. But with this now, I'm having to go out and do a little bit of world quests each week just to get my just get enough order hall resources to do the stuff I need to do in order to be a higher end raider.
Right. Yeah, I feel now I definitely have to spend some more time in the game though, to be honest, because I'm doing all this complaining and I do have some time that I spend playing Overwatch.
Sometime.
I really have to stop playing Overwatch so much. It's so
Uh,
good though.
I don't know if I could do that. It's very fun.
It's so good. But we have run long, so long for the 20-minute episode.
Yeah, I was actually just about to say something.
I think we should wrap it up.
All right. Follow me on Twitter at spec_TWD. You can email the podcast at theweeklydailypod@gmail.com.
And you can reach me at ZXDino on Twitter. Um, and now where are we? We're on YouTube, we're on iTunes, we're on Google Play, and I think that's it for now. Oh, we're on SoundCloud also.
And SoundCloud, yep.
Yeah, I think that's it for now. I'm working on Stitcher. They're not being very cooperative, but hopefully we can get in there. Shout out to the raid. You guys are doing pretty awesome. Keep it up. Let's finish this raid so we can go work on Hell Yeah.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
All right. Bye.
See you later.
For the Horde.